Multiple offer situation. How are you going to ensure that your offer gets accepted when there's 20 offers on the table? Hi, I'm Mark Z. The season's heating up and we're seeing it time and time again. There's multiple offers on the table. Listing agent calls you or emails you and tells you that he's got 15, 20 offers on the table and highest and best is due by 5 p.m. What are you going to do? Well, I wrote down 10 things that you could possibly do, 10 things that you can offer to your clients. I'm not suggesting you do any of them. I'm just giving you suggestions on what you can do and what my agents are doing to ensure that their offer gets accepted. In fact, we just had one the other day. Sandy on my team had an offer that was written with 20 other offers on the table, and she got hers accepted. Here's what we're suggesting. Escalation clause. What's an escalation clause? An escalation clause is when the buyer writes into the agreement, either on the purchase agreement or on an addendum, that the buyer is willing to pay $1,000 or $100 over the highest other offer, but the listing agent has to show proof of what that highest offer is, up to the purchase price. So you could write in that the buyer is willing to pay $100 over the next highest offer on the table, up to X amount. Next, an appraisal guarantee. And some of these you can mix up and do with each other. So the appraisal guarantee is where the buyer says, listen, you're asking $185,000, I'm going to offer you $195,000, and if the appraisal comes in short, let's say the appraisal only comes in at $190,000, I guarantee that we or the buyers will pay $5,000 over the appraisal up to the purchase price of $195,000. Number 3, waive inspection. Now this is something that's a little risky because you're willing to take the property in as-is condition. So you can still ask to do an inspection and you can write that in there, but you're not going to ask for anything and you're putting it in writing that you're willing to take the home as is. Again, that could be a little risky, but if you're very confident with what the home has to offer and you feel like, hey, even if something came up, I'd be willing to take it on for this price, or because you're just in love with the house, it's something that could definitely make a seller feel like they should take your offer over one of your competitors. Number 4, waive mortgage contingency. In every offer, standard language is that the offer is contingent upon you getting a mortgage approval, you getting clear to close. And if you don't, you get your earnest money deposit back. So if you waive the mortgage contingency, you're saying that regardless of whether you get approved or not, you're closing. And if you don't close, you're going to lose your earnest money deposit. This could make your offer as strong as a cash offer because you don't have to worry about appraisal. You don't have to worry about getting approved. You're not worried about anything. You're guaranteeing that you're going to the closing table after inspection. Free occupancy. Maybe the seller doesn't have another home to go to. Maybe the seller doesn't have a home purchased. If you offer free occupancy, this could make the seller choose your offer over one of your competitors because they get to stay in the home after they close for free. Huge bonus. Number 6, an extremely high EMD. It's not unusual for my agents to put down a $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 earnest money deposit. Keep in mind, this earnest money deposit goes towards closing costs and down payment. So it doesn't cost the buyer any more money. It's just something to make the offer look stronger, make the offer look like the buyers are very serious. Number 7, a weird number over asking price. So let's say they're asking $200,000. Most people are going to offer up to $200,000. I'm suggesting offering $200,359, something that could make the highest offer. Number 8. Now this one's a game changer. This is something that I'm seeing more and more often. It's the love letter or love video. Now, it used to be love letters the past few years, but now we're seeing with technology, and as popular as video is, people are doing love videos. What do I mean by that? People are writing letters telling the homeowners why they love the house and how they're going to take care of the house, or a little bit about them. I see pictures, because we list so many properties, I see all these things come across our desk when we have multiple offers. And the love letter really gets to the seller. Sometimes they'll send a picture or a video of them and their family and their kids or their dog. They might even talk about some things. Maybe they're a veteran. It was about 6 months ago, we had a multiple offer situation, and my client was a veteran and the buyer was a veteran, and they were not the highest offer on the table. However, my seller chose to take that offer because it was a veteran to a veteran. And he felt like this was his way of giving back. And he remembers himself in that situation years ago, and he wanted someone to give him an opportunity at home ownership. And so my client took an offer that was less money, but because it was a veteran, he felt like this was the offer that was right for him. So it's not always about price. Don't kid yourself. The highest offer doesn't always win. Sometimes it's that report that's built, or sometimes it's something about the buyer and how they're going to take care of the home. Every seller wants to sell to someone that's going to take care of their home and love it as much as they do. So a love letter, a love video definitely works. Definitely something I would suggest. And you got to coach your client into how to write that letter and what to say to make it impactful. Number 9, big down payment. So if you're going up against a conventional offer and you're FHA, it's going to be tough. Sellers look at down payment because it shows the strength of the offer. At the end of the day, every realtor wants to get to the closing table and every seller wants to get to the closing table. So they want to be ensured that they're going to get there, and a down payment definitely makes the approval process easier when you're putting 20% down versus putting 3.5% down or 5% down. So if you're putting a down payment and it's a substantial down payment, make sure you make that very clear. Make sure you reiterate that to the listing agent. Number 10 says, have lender call the agent. Now, there's one part I left off of this. Have the realtor call the other agent. Have the buyer, if you're a buyer's agent, or if you have an offer and your realtor has not called that listing agent, they're really doing you injustice. You got to call the listing agent and have that conversation with them. If you can have the buyer's lender call the realtor and ensure them that this is a solid offer and they've vetted them through the process, this isn't just a pre-approval that's not worth the paper that it's written on. They've actually vetted their income, vetted their employment, vetted their credit score, went through all that, and you have a solid buyer. That's something you want to reiterate to the other agent. So as a buyer's agent, you definitely want to call the listing agent and have that conversation. And if you can get the lender to call them, that's even another feather in your cap. So hope that helps. My name is Mark Z. We're out there winning offers every day. I hope you guys win your next multiple offer situation. If you have any questions, anything I can do to help, again, it's Mark Z, and I'll talk to you soon, guys.